So for those that have been with us for many years here, I usually ask 3 questions, and I usually have 10 golden nuggets of wisdom. Tonight we're going to break course. We've never done it before, and I just wanted to open it up to you for questions, and I'll repeat them so we can get them recorded. But before we do, I just want to acknowledge each of these people here for coming and for your service to our community, and sorry for your loss. And it really means a lot that you're willing to be here with us tonight. So let's give them a round of applause. So with that, as your host, I have to get you out of here by 7, but we have 5 minutes. So what questions do we have? Yes?
I remember after it happened, a lot of people went out and started buying guns. There was a lot of further debate around gun control. Can you talk a little bit about your stance on that, how it felt, and how it might relate to what we're seeing today?
So the question is, after that, a lot of people went out and started buying guns in an effort to protect themselves. I remember going to a theater, and I have a concealed carry permit, and do I bring my gun to the theater or not to protect my family? And so what would be your response to that, people going out and buying more guns? Who would like to take that question?
Well, actually, that's interesting you said that, because I actually went to D.C. a couple of times, spoke to the Senate, did all that good stuff about gun control, and it's not necessarily gun control, it's regulating who has the AR-15s, who has those weapons that are made to kill people. So, you know, I'm not a gun owner. My whole family hunts and all that good stuff, but I just think that leave it to the professionals maybe would be my take on it. Mental health is another issue, so I mean, we could talk for years on that. So,
Anybody else want to take it or go to the next question? Okay. That'd be great. Dave?
Yeah.
You get up here.
I've been a police officer. I'm currently a sergeant, and I've been doing the job for almost 35 years. We have more guns in our society than we've ever had before, and yet these mass shootings continue to increase. We're losing police officers every year as a result of gun violence. And it's not the gun that kills. I understand that, and I understand those arguments and the discussion, and they're absolutely right. But yet we haven't shown that we need to treat this item that is designed to take somebody else's life with the respect that it truly deserves. And if we don't change the mindset of Americans, this is going to continue. And we've shown that it's going to continue, and it has. And it's a shame, because when we started talking about
there's 34 people a day, now it's up to over 100 a day die by gun violence.
So it's getting worse and worse. What we need to do is change the mindset of people and how we deal with this very important item, a gun, that really matters. It's changing the mindset more than anything.
2 things real quick. Since this case, as a result of this case, I have 2 guns. I carry when I go to the theater anytime I'm with my family. And if there's a sign that says we don't want you to, I ignore it. And I can carry on my own authority because I am the district attorney. And I don't carry because I think I'm going to be a hero. I carry because I want to have an option with my family. I don't want to be stuck hiding behind some row with just prayer to keep me safe. I don't know what that looks like, and I hope to Jesus I never have to confront that. But as far as the gun control stuff, I will tell you that since this case, you'll remember right after this was Sandy Hook, that horrible case out in Connecticut. And we passed those 2 quick measures in, I can't remember what year, 2013, 2014. One that, 2013, that limited the magazine capacity, and one that mandated the background checks. And I will tell you that had those laws both been in place on July 19th, 2012, this exact same crime occurs. This dude brought 700 rounds of ammunition with him to the theater. 30-round mag, 15-round mag, 2-round mag. Wouldn't have mattered to him. And we had pictures that you saw of him in the gun shops, just leaning up against the gun case on his phone, waiting for the background check. So I get the desire to want to be frenetic and do something, but what we did made no difference and would have made no difference.
Thank you. Who has this question? Yes.
Going through this process, as an American, do you have greater appreciation for our justice system?
So the question is, going through this process as an American, do you have a greater appreciation and respect for the system or not? For Mona.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I do have a greater respect, but I don't know. I understand why in Colorado it has to be a unanimous decision, but at the same time I struggle with why was that one person's decision more important than my decision. So it gave me kind of some different perspectives that I never had before as well. So, everybody always asks, one of the questions was, do you want to serve, on a jury? It's like, who would want, if you want to, there's something wrong with you. But, again, it's something that we all have to do, unfortunately, so.
Who else? Yes, in the back.
If I understood you right, you just said that you carry the gun into the theater, right? How is that going to protect you if when you are watching a movie, somebody comes and shoots? And the second thing is, what I also understood, I saw a very compassionate side of you. Then how come the compassionate side can't just trust that things can happen in life? I'm a bit enough to catch myself. So it just doesn't make sense to me.
So let me just repeat it 1 second, if you don't mind. So by the way, there's a fan up here, which sometimes we can just see lips moving. So if I mess it up, just forgive me, okay? Because I'm the host, and you'll be nice to me. Thank you, appreciate it. So appreciate that. And I have another glass of water or wine, whatever. But the question is, how do you handle the dichotomy, basically, of being a person of faith and have compassion, at the same time being someone who's carrying a weapon who could potentially take somebody's life in a theater like that, is what I heard. You may have heard something else, but that's what I heard. Yeah, that's basically what he was trying to get to. How do you justify or reconcile the two together?
Yeah, I don't read the Bible to say that I am at the whim and will of every person that would seek to do me or my kids wrong. That is not my understanding of the Catholic faith or the Bible at all. Turn the other cheek may be something in some circumstances, but I'm not there to just lay down for someone and kill my children. That ain't going to happen. You're going to have to come through this guy first. And so how do I know what I would do in a theater? I don't. And I'm trained. All the military guys that have been in here, we've all been through training. We can all fire at paper targets and pop-up targets and do well. In that setting, I have no damn idea what I'd be capable of. But I know this, I don't want to be in a position where I don't have a choice, where I don't have the ability to do something. I don't want to be hiding behind a row of seats and think, man, I wish I'd have carried today. I never want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that has a decision to make. And I don't think that that makes me less Christian or less empathetic or sympathetic. I think that makes me a normal person that takes place for.
Anyone else want to answer that? Again, this is why I founded the Opportunity Coalition, different ideas and viewpoints, and sharing in a context where you can be safe, and you may agree or disagree, but at least hear the other person out. So thank you for asking that question, and thank you for the candid answer. Who's next? Yes. So the question is, what did the role of mental health play in the overall decision-making and process?
Yep. And I want to let Mona answer this, and then I'll go, can I do that? Because this was a big issue for you guys.
I think majority of the jury did believe that he had something mentally wrong with him. How can you do something like that kind of without? But at the same time, he knew exactly what he was doing. So to forgive that, just seems to disconnect for me. Everything from, and again, I know you don't want me to go into the details, but he had music in his ears so that he didn't have to hear people screaming. He took a Vicodin in case he got hit and hurt, so that he didn't have to feel any pain. He planned it. I'm sure all of you have heard it before, but but again, I do believe that there was also something that he did have a mental illness. So it's a struggle, but again, I just don't think, again, with being mentally ill and doing something like that and knowing what you're doing forgives you from being punished.
And for me, and that's right, and for me, I always believed the guy had a mental illness. That was not the issue for me. And that's why we asked about it during jury selection on those questionnaires and stuff. Mental illness was in this case. But in the state of Colorado and just about anywhere else that has insanity, and by the way, Idaho does not. Think about that. They don't have the defense of insanity in Idaho. That's crazy. No pun intended. But in this particular case, the mental illness part wasn't the issue. So the public defenders come in, and this is part of the process of seeking death. They do a mitigation pitch to me. I had a bunch of other DAs in there who had capital punishment experience. And they put on some things that were suggestive of the fact that this guy had some sort of schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia, whatever. But they only picked and chose exactly what you think, the things that highlight that the most. And so as we're walking back to the elevator, I said, okay, I mean, I don't take this as a knee-jerk reaction at all. You got my attention. I want to know more. But if you want me to have an open mind on getting rid of this case for something less than capital punishment, I want 3 things from you. I want the notebook that he mailed to the psychiatrist that got seized up by the police and turned over to the court, and we never saw the interior of it. I want that notebook. I want every medical and mental health record ever on this guy. And then I want my hand-picked forensic psychiatrist to go into the jail and look under the hood and kick the tires. If all 3 of those things bear out what you're saying, you will have an open ear as about how to resolve this case short of trial. They didn't leave the front of the area where the little area where the elevator was. And they said, nope. You're going to have to fight us for every one of those things. We don't think we'd be effectively representing our client if we turn those over. And they left. And I said, well, that's easy. There's no way I'm pleading this case guilty and not being able to answer to Teresa or Dave or the public, why did you do it? And I'm going to say, they had a pretty wicked PowerPoint. No. I'm going to know everything. And that was part of this process. So at the end of the day, we had 2 forensic psychiatrists, the only 2 in the case, do full-on interviews and investigations of him. Both of them came back and said, dude is sane. And that's how we move forward.
Okay. I know there's other questions in the room. Our guests will be here for a little while. And again, I just want to thank each of you. You played different roles in the process, some that you didn't want to play at all. And it just means a lot that you were here with us tonight, and we're just very, very grateful. So thank you so much. Give them a round of applause.